Good to see everybody as we are moving towards the holiday season. This is now really important to finalize some of the work that we have done this wonderful year, and really make sure that we are ready to move on the issue of the special issue and the articles, and also have some clarity on the planning towards next year. So for this, I would like to hand over to Professor Francesca to lead this session today. Professor.
Thank you, Professor Miriam. I would like to welcome everyone to today's meeting, and to especially welcome Bert and thank him for his support. He's always here with us every Tuesday and also providing some background support. Like Professor Miriam had said, today we are going to be looking at the progress we have made on the special issue, and of course to look at also the plans for sustainability of our FDPs in the different countries. So I'm going to hand over to Dr. Sakinat, who will be sharing the presentation. We'll look at how far we have gone, what we have received from the authors, and what we have left. And we'll also provide some sample guidance to help the members of our community in putting the articles together for the submission of the first draft of the full article for the special issue. Dr. Sakinat, please.
Yes, thank you, Prof. Good afternoon, everyone. We are welcome back to another session of our Tuesday weekly webinar. And I'm particularly happy to be here. Professor Miriam, good afternoon, everyone. We'll be talking about the status of our special issue papers today. How far we have come.
Sorry, can everybody mute who's not speaking, please? Because there's an echo.
I think I can.
Sorry, Dr. Sakina. Misha, I see yours, and
yeah. Okay, so we started the encouragement last week, and we were particular about the updates on the article, how far they have gone, and if they need help, we have lots of experienced hands in the house to help us out if there is any kind of problem or any issue along the line. So next slide, please. Next slide.
I think the echo is from Dr. Sakina. Dr. Sakina, can you check? There is something like an echo from your side. Maybe a fan is on or something.
Wow. No. Okay. I'm using earbuds. Maybe I should remove it.
Now it's okay. Now it's okay. Can you speak again, Dr. Sakinat? Hello?
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, this is good. I think you have to start again because we could not hear you. Sorry for that, Doctor.
Okay. Is it better now?
Now you're fine.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I welcome everyone to the next webinar series that we have been holding for a long time now. And then we started the encouragement and status update last week, and want to know the status of our papers and how far authors have gone. And each we have experienced hands in the house to help us out. So we remind ourselves today of the outline major sections of our paper. Our paper is divided into 4 sections. We have the state of the art of care deployment under COVID-19, care equivalency, and semantic interoperability, and the relevance of care to the sustainability development goals. Next slide, please. I rush this because we have been going over this for some time now, and These are the more specific topics for our articles, like proof of concept, the fair equivalency for regulatory framework, semantic interoperability, vocabularies, and metadata adoption up to VODAN in a box. That is the semantic model of WHO, ECL, and data capture tools. Next slide, please. Okay. So the timeline for the first draft for submission is first week in January. That's January 2021 on the 15th. So we expect all authors to have submitted the first draft, but on the timeline, on the drive or the article, the document, Google Docs for all authors, we haven't seen any updates except for the abstract that were there. So we decided to put some things together today to encourage authors that next. Okay. So the requirement for the paper that our abstract, the length of the abstract should be between 200 and 500 word maximum. Then we expect our article, the words for the full length article to be between 3,005 and 5,000 words, and then they should be written in clear structured language. English is the language. Then they should abbreviate. We have a few abbreviation and methodologies. So the requirement for you to be an author of a manuscript, that you have to have contributed to the paper, and we also encourage multiple authors to the manuscript. Next slide. So we have this link. We'll also share this slide after. So the link to the abstract upload is also the link to the article upload. Then we have some sample journals too that you can download that and some from Gate tutorials that will help authors out for their related work and contribution to knowledge. Next slide. Okay. So for the data intelligence journal that we want to put our paper, these are the type of articles that they accept, which we also can adjust. One, they have a data article. Then secondly, they have perspective or commentary article. Though we are not doing this because it's usually invitation by the editors, and ours is a special edition. So then your article too could also be a research article or a data application or a letter to the auditor. But out of all these five, we are laying emphasis on three: data article, research articles, and data application. Next slide, please. So now, if you're writing for a data article, because sometimes we could, maybe the idea we have or the plan that we have for our article, we don't know what category they belong to. Now, for data article, it could be an ontology, a knowledge graph, or a vocabulary, or even a linked data set or a cluster of interoperable data or evaluation benchmark. So these are the kind of idea that the data intelligence journal they have about data articles, and these are some of the essential sessions that could be contained in your article. Like you have the introduction. So that means that this data article, you actually curated the data that you want to submit. So they accept data articles also. So for that, you have introduction, then you explain the value of your data, the importance of the data, and how it could be useful to the community. Then how do you acquire the data? Then the application and limitations of the data. So we also accept this for our special issues if you are submitting a data article. Next slide, please. So for our research article, now for the research article, it could be a set of the research finding or up-to-date issues and challenges on topics on data generation, or data analysis, data integration, data sharing, data management are related topics in the field of data intelligence. So if your article can also fall under this category. So if your article fall under research article, these are the things that we expect or the data intelligence journal expects us to put in the article. Next slide, please. So, and the article could also be a data application. So for data application, that it could be the write-up could be you reporting specific domain or cross-domain application based on data, or repositories and data-enabled technologies. So these are the sections that we expect for a data application, like you have introduction, you have your methodology, you have your results, discussion, and the conclusion. So these are the specific elements that we expect from a data application article. One, the context of the application, where you're applying the data to, then the system environment, the key points or the parameters that you're using, then the implementation challenges that one could face during the application, operational framework and application effect. Next slide, please. So now, the manuscript organization for the journal one, they have from the beginning of the session abstract. I think we have already posted that audio. That for abstract, you have for the title page. Then for the abstract, we have already talked about that. The maximum 500 words. That between 200 and 500 words. Then we have keywords that is specific. You know, we discussed that this keyword is just like a S in our search, findable, that will enable us to find the data very quickly. Then introduction also. So for the middle section, we have related work, the methodology that that is the approach you take to your article writing. Then the experiments and the results you obtained. You discuss the results based on your findings and also relate to the theory in the related work, the conclusion. Or for the ending session, we have author's contribution, which the journal also encourage very much. Acknowledgement, then you have references and author's biography. So for other elements or for supplementary files, they have figures and tables and supporting information that you have concerning your article that you couldn't embed into your article. Next slide, please. So for references now, all available sources that you use, or text, table, they should be cited. And we said that the journal said any unavailable or non-published work that included in the manuscript, they should not be cited, but you can mention them in the body of your work. Then the references should be numbered. They should be numbered sequentially. So your first citation in the article will be 1, and at the end of the article, then they appear and denoted in the text through numbers. So in references, the full title, when you are writing out the full references now, that the full title of the paper should be given alongside with the first and last page numbers. So this is the format for writing reference for the journal. Next slide. So this is a sample journal from data intelligence. And from, we mentioned the different types of articles that the journal publishes. This one is an implementation article. It's just like a data application. So now for that, because the journal is fair-centric, and our special issue also is centered around fair. So we could see that addressing fair principles. So this implementation article addressed the problem using findable 1, findable 2, reusable 1, reusable 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. So the center of this work is based on that their principles, and they also related to other papers. They were able to quote that, and these are the names of the authors and their affiliations. Next slide. Okay. So we also have keywords for that paper, like fair data, verification workflow, fair data stewardship. So if you search out this keyword, it is probable that this journal article will come up for you. Next slide. So this is a sample abstract also from the journal. So we can, from this one now, we have the when we count the number of words, there is about 273. So the journal article takes abstract from 200 to maximum of 500. And then we could also see that all the elements of abstract are there. When we have the introduction, then we also have the aim. If you look at the third line, we will see that they wrote that in this paper, we describe a genetic step-by-step verification workflow. That is the aim of the paper. Then methodology is also there, and the results and also conclusion is in this abstract. So this abstract is just like a summary of your article. Next slide. So now the next is introduction. So in introduction is trying to introduce the topic to us, the idea or things that have happened in the literature, the knowledge gap, and the idea that is trying to put across to us at the end of the introduction. Next slide, please. Okay, and this is the methodology. So this is the approach the authors use for this article. So this is the methodology, and then from there they explain not what, they explain how they wanted to achieve their aim. So next slide, please. So after explanation now, we could also put your methodology into a diagram. You know, when you look at graphics, it's easier to understand. So we could understand the workflow, how the author achieved, how the author work around this framework. It started from pre-verification. So if we could follow the arrow. So this is the process workflow. We could also adopt this method too. When you explain your method, you try to put it in a diagram. It's easier to understand by the reader. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. So this is the result. They have a result section. So they are trying to explain some of the results that they obtained from the experiment they performed here. Next slide, please. So this is the discussion and conclusion. So this discussion is actually based on the results that they obtained. So from here now, from this discussion now, they try to theorize what your result is. Does it conform with what is existing? So your result now, or does it negate what is existing before? So if it negates it now, you try to justify why that is. Then we have the conclusion. Next slide, please. So for the final session also, just like we explained earlier, that authors' contribution. So this is what authors, each of the authors, what they did, and the acknowledgement. People that actually help out, maybe editing the work, reading through, correcting, giving advice. So they put them under acknowledgement. Next slide. Okay. So this is the references, and these are the references, and this is the format for the journal. The references that start with the initial of the author, then the last name of the author, and after that, then the title of the work. So the title of this by this thing is called, the title of the work is the same guiding principle for scientific management and stewardship. So the journal, that is scientific data, that is the journal they published, and that 3 is the volume, while 2016 is the year the article was published, and this is the BOI. So next slide, please. So, and they also have a template. So these are the two different templates for the journal. They have the Microsoft template that you can download, and this will be useful when we are finished our write-up. Then the second one is the latex. So if you can choose either of these two templates, the one that you are content with, so that there's no problem at the end of the day. I think this is about my last slide. So I want to thank you for the time that you have given me to talk. So I don't know if Professor Miriam has anything to add. Thank you, ma'am.
I have nothing to add. I think this is a most wonderful job. And thank you, Sakinat, Dr. Sakinat and Professor Francesca. That's very excellent. I want to hand over to Francesca, and I think it will be good to do another update, and I will ask Misha to make hold very good score as to where everything stands. Last week we had this round. There was good progress and a lot of articles to be sent. I understand that this is not visible in the Google folder. It's possible that people have it but haven't sent it, but we didn't receive anything. So I'd really like to know whether things have been ready in the next draft, where they are sent to. They need to be sent to, preferably to the Google, but if not, if it is in LaTeX or Word, then it can be sent directly to Misha or Alia or Sakinat or even Francesca or myself. We need to get a clear process so that from our side we can also then assist in reading and commenting on them. So I want to hand over to Francesca and then take the discussion from there. Francesca, please.
Thank you, Prof. I will be shortly calling on Mishak if he has the updates ready, even though we know we have not received anything, but we have put this session together specifically for members of our community. And in addition to the presentation by Dr. Sakinat, we're going to be sending emails across and extracting the relevant sections like the templates, the submission links and everything, and we'll be sending that as email and also provide a summary of these various steps. We'll be sending them across to everyone and give room for questions. So I just want to add that to the presentation by Dr. Sakinat. And of course, the videos will also be made available. Then for people outside of our community, we'll also be sending email reminders to them and also outlining these steps. In addition, we also want to request that one way to proceed, because from the members of the VODAN Africa and Asia community, we have multiple authors for each of these. So once we get the summary and the update from Mishak, I would like to suggest that since they now have a clear understanding of the different sections in the paper, one way to proceed would be to build out a schedule and then assign people, especially like for introduction, Dr. A and Ms. B could write it. For the literature review, ABC could do that, so that way, yes, they can keep track, and they can also include that in what they are sending to us. So if we have questions or if we have concerns, we'll know who to direct that to. If you want to provide further guidance, we'll also, while providing guidance to them as a team, we'll also like specifically pay more attention to the author or to the author writing that particular session. We'll continue to follow up more stringently at this point after the update by Misha, and we're going to have the contact spreadsheet updated as promised by Misha so that we can be following up. We'll have a schedule actually among ourselves for follow-up and who will be doing the follow-up. So I'm going to appeal to the members of our community. If you receive a lot of email or WhatsApp or Slack messages from us, it's just to make sure that in-house we're able to meet up with the schedule that we have laid out for for the publication of this special issue, so that we're able to make sure we don't miss any of our milestones. Misha, if you're ready to say one or two things.
Can you specify what you mean with update?
If you have received any first draft of manuscript based on there is a spreadsheet on updates which Dr. Sakinat had shared with everyone.
Not many, no.
Okay.
Not many or nothing?
Well, I haven't seen anything, but maybe I've missed it. I'm checking now.
Actually, to the best of my knowledge, we haven't had any, and that was why we decided, okay, let us provide additional guidance. So, but the guidance is going to go beyond this webinar. We're going to be reaching out individually. So if the main authors or the corresponding primary authors can share with us their schedule as soon as Thursday, then we can now update our own spreadsheet and reach out individually to those authors and provide additional guidance, so that by the 31st of December, we'll be sure that most of the articles from within our community are substantially ready for the mentors to help go through.
Can I just ask just a few people who were working on timelines with something coming in by the weekend, where things stand and how communication has gone so far. So let me first of all ask Mariam on this. Mariam, can you give an indication of where you are on the articles?
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, well, so I've so far finished the fair equivalency article, the manuscript, but I was having issues with copy pasting it into the Google Docs because, okay, I'm copying it from a PDF document. So I was thinking maybe if I could share it in a different Google documents and then attach it, because it's actually uploaded, but the text has gotten a bit dismantled.
It's not practical to work in PDF documents because it's very difficult to comment on those. Why is it in PDF?
It was in Word document before, so I thought if I converted it to PDF and copy pasted it, then...
No, it needs to be in Word and actually preferably from Word into the Google, if that is possible, because then people can just work online and you can see the provenance of the comments very well.
Yeah, so, okay, I'll do that. I'm still trying to sort that. And then with the other 3 articles, I'm just trying to conclude them really fast. And then I will upload them as well.
And your timeline on that?
Well, since we're now doing another project, hopefully before Monday next week.
And for all the 3 articles?
No, for 2, then for the other one, maybe an extra day. So Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, can you put the plan and timelines in the chat? Then Misha can take them over in the overview, if that's okay.
Okay, all right.
Then, Putu, you were also working on a few articles. What is the timeline on those? And maybe you have already done them, but we haven't seen them.
Yeah, I just sent my article about fair equivalency to Alia. And also I uploaded to Google Drive, but I copy paste in my abstract. So maybe Misha and Alia didn't know about this, but right now I'm chatting Alia about this. And for the second article, it's about open data and fair. We just finished the content analysis. So maybe I will finish the first draft next week. And for the third article, I'm still doing my literature review, and also I think I will finish on the first week of January for the draft of the article.
Okay, if you can also put it kindly in the chat, and also Putu and everyone, it is fine to do the to put this in the article that is in the folder section. I don't know who is sharing the screen here. Is it Francesca? Can you?
Aliyah.
Who's that?
Aliyah, it's me.
Oh, Aliyah, can you show the folder,
Yes.
the special issue folder? I can see it there. So there you have got all the articles. So you look for your article and then you paste it in there. That is what we mean for you to do. Is that clear?
Maybe it's an idea if I make a folder for every article, and then we can differentiate different pieces of each article.
I don't know. Is that necessary? In principle, you can just. Is it if you want to save different versions? Is that the idea? Aliyah, what do you want to say?
Yes, I was thinking, I mean, like this kind of version, I think is fine. I mean, like we just, like it's kind of more convenient than, rather than creating another folder and then sending, I think.
Yeah, I think, Misha, the previous time we did a special issue like this, and you just, I mean, people shouldn't necessarily worry about what is in the articles not being excellent or whatever, because it's work in progress. And the only people who can see it is the people who are within the authorship. Otherwise, it will remain amongst this group. So, yeah, I think it will be easier to keep it article by article, but the idea is that the authors put the text of the articles here in these Google Sheets. Is that clear to everybody? And is that acceptable as a procedure?
Yes.
So, Putu, then Aliyah, you've also yourself articles. How are you doing yourself? Aliyah?
Yes, Professor. Well, actually, my article, I hopefully it will be next Monday, so I will upload it. So I'm still doing some work on it.
Okay, that's good. And what about Ibrahim? Ibrahim?
I think they put in a message that they were expecting
To get a comment.
Yes, they're expecting the comment. I'm trying to check the status. I could see the abstract, but I can't see the review results or the review reports for the article in the drive.
And Ibrahim, do we have Misha, do we have an abstract for that? I think that was one of the articles where there was going to be a new abstract, so maybe we have missed that abstract.
I'll look it up and send it to Ibrahim.
No, you have to send it to the viewers.
Yeah. Hello, Professor Miriam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a new abstract, and the Dr. Fehong and myself, we put the comments on the abstract from day one, so maybe it was an oversight.
So
maybe it's an oversight.
Misha, can you please check that and process them?
Yeah.
And make sure that you have gone through all the abstracts and make sure that all the abstracts have actually been sent to the authors with the review.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I think I can see the comment by Dr. Fei Hong and Dr. Sakinat.
It's
They are,
perhaps waiting for my review, but I may not have known.
no, I didn't see your comment, but I could see the comments by Dr. Fei Hong and then Dr. Sakinat. But I'm not sure if these comments are visible to the authors, but I could see them.
They are to be sent to the authors once it is completed. So I think that I need to complete it, but I didn't know. So that's why Misha needs to go through all the abstracts to pick out those that came in after I had reviewed them, and then I will review them and will send them immediately to the authors. I'll do it latest tomorrow.
Okay.
Because,
Can I
yeah, because
just
we kept,
send you the link to the abstract in private message.
yeah, because we kept these comments private in order not to, and that would not be good for everybody to see them. Then what about Dr. Reginald? We have had a conversation in email. Do you want to update as well?
Yes. We have the abstracts, but the way forward is what we're trying to figure out. For example, Dr. Araya had taken the lead in some of the articles, but I think we are going to reorganize by creating a WhatsApp conversation so that we are able to make progress. So I would say our deadline is by Monday. We should have a very clear structure how each author can contribute to this discussion.
Yeah, Dr. Reginald and everyone. There are, of course, articles where you are among the authors, and then the first author was Getu or Dr. Araya or someone from the places of Ethiopia, which are still, we have had no contact with them. So in that case, we really appreciate if you take over for the time being as first author to organize the contributions. And of course, we will have to see when contact is re-established, the situation is and how they are and so on. We can't make any assumptions at this point. And if they would be able to work on it, then of course we would hope that they would work on it and give them that all that space, I think. But for now, we need to take over the leadership.
Yeah, I'll do that, Professor. Thank you. I'll do it.
Wonderful. And Kuda, I don't know if you can speak. Kuda, my timeline is one paper Monday next week, one draft paper on the 28th, and third is on the first week of January. And you also agreed with Dr. Van Stam to co-author. Excellent. Those are very, very good things to hear. Who else? Dr. Sakinat, yourself, are you clear on your papers and the timelines?
Oh, yes, Professor. I'm actually working together with Ezekiel, and we actually have our results ready. But our plan was this 15. Today was our own private deadline, but I don't know what happened along the line. We have apps ready. We're actually working on a data application. You know what happens after data has been fed?
Yeah.
So we're applying data science algorithms to them, but we are shifting our deadline to 29th, and I'm sure that by God's will we'll be able to meet up. Ezekiel, do you have anything to say to that? Ezekiel.
Yes, please. I think we are in good standing with that. And by that, we should be able to complete it. Thank you.
Okay, that sounds all good. And then, Misha, your own paper?
Yeah, that's going well. We're still, I don't have an exact timeline yet, but I'm sure that by the first week of January, we will have something very concrete.
Okay, good. Then, anyone else to update? A bit on the issue of the, I think I put it here also on the certification. We discussed it last time. Can you update on that?
Yes, Professor Miriam, I can update you on that. As I said last time, I'm not a scientist, so I cannot be the lead writer of that article.
Yes.
But I have input, so I can provide input to the article that could actually cover this. And
Yeah.
I think last time, I'm not 100% sure, but I do recall that somebody said that he would like to take my input and actually use it in his or her article, but I'm not 100% sure who that was.
I think it was related to Putu's article on access and control.
Yeah.
Putu, can you speak to that?
For which article, Professor Miriam? The bird article?
On access and the access and
control. So that is number, let's see which number that is, because I was also looking into the.
It might be an article that does not have yet a, does it have an abstract? I don't know, Putu, where is that? Where does that stand?
Not abstracts yet. It's one of the new ones that were proposed during the last meeting that is to come up with something on the access and control, and then Beth will make the input.
Yes. So the idea was that I would provide input, and that somebody else would actually, as a scientist, use this as his or her article. So what I can do is I can simply, I can send my input to Putu. Would that be the best way to go?
I think so. If Putu agrees,
of course, he has to agree.
I will take a look for that topic, because right now Eric still didn't reply my email, so I'm still coordinating with Eric, and also I'm still checking for my literature review of data security and access control. But I'm trying to. I will take a look first for your topic, Bert.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can. Maybe I can contribute as the co-author. For example, doing literature review.
Yeah. But I would really like to see that somebody with a scientific background is really the lead author here. But we'll figure that out. It could also go to Article 27, data security and safety.
Yes, I think so. And that was the article with Eric Flickenshield, but he also is not a scientist. I think, Putu, you can contribute, but we are not expecting you to deliver that next week. We know that this issue requires a bit more time. But Francesca, should we, you or I, be first author of that article and then work with Putu and Eric Flickenshield and Bet on that issue? Francesca, what do you think?
Yes, Bob, that's absolutely fine. You and I can work together to put the abstracts, so that will provide the guidance on. Yes, so the abstract will have the aspect where Putu will work on, and then and everything we can put everything together.
Yeah. So, and that is the article 27. That is exactly the article.
Yeah, I think it's 27 where it would fit best at this moment. That's what I feel.
Yeah. All right, then we will do the abstract. So in terms of the update of the abstracts, this one Francesca and I will do. There is also an article that is proposed by Mia Stockmans, which still needs to be an abstract, to have an abstract on adoption, but I think is a very good article also. So Misha, you can also record that in the notes, or Misha or Francesca, the person who is taking notes. That abstract will be sent this week, I think. And then there were, Kuda, do all of your articles have abstracts, Kuda? Can I ask that? And I was wondering whether was there not an article discussed last week on fair equivalency in Nigeria? Was that not a new abstract, or am I wrong on that, Sakinat or Ibrahim? I recall it, but maybe I recall it wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, Ibrahim Kawu proposed something similar to that. I think it's here. Ibrahim Kawu. Hello?
Let me see if it's online. Yes, I remember Ibrahim Kawu is expected to prepare a new abstract on the fair equivalence in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Based on their presentation at the Fair Convergence Symposium.
Yeah.
Yes, the other week. I think he's offline now. He was here earlier, probably due to network.
That's
so
okay.
To make a note also, and Leah, if you could make a note, then I'll reach out to him on WhatsApp after the meeting. And I'll also
Hello.
Yes, Dr.
Hello.
Yes, Dr. Abdullahi.
Yeah, I remember the title of our article is the verification that has to do with the lockdown in the United States, and except if Abdullahi Kawu is also in another article.
There are two articles. I agree with that. There was the article on the verification in relation to the lockdown, and we agreed to the idea, but I don't know if we received the abstract. Yeah, that is there. That is number 9.
Yes, I've sent the abstract long ago, and that's what I was commenting on, that we're still expecting. We're expecting to get the feedback and the comment. Okay, I've now seen the fair principle and data regulation. Yeah, that will be headed by Hawa and Abdullahi Kawu. So I'll get back to the team also on Article 4.
Okay, and I think that the earlier abstract, I do think that I've seen it, but I'll make sure to check and that you get it today. And sorry for that delay. And Kuda is saying, and yet to send one outstanding abstract on fair equivalency. Yeah, Dr. Van Stam, he has sent that, Kuda. So that is fine, that's in order. And the fair equivalency on Zimbabwe, so if you can also record that, Misha. I hope that Misha, are you taking note of all the abstracts that need to be added?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you. And then there is an abstract to be added from Lean, from Yelene. Lean, do you want to talk to that?
Yes. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Yiling, and I'm glad I've got this opportunity to work on this new article regarding the implementation of fair principles in non-English speaking countries. And I think I will probably start with the abstract by diving into literature in Chinese and Japanese, since I can speak both languages, and hopefully other colleagues who can speak other non-English languages could also participate in this article. Thank you very much.
So the idea that we discussed on this article, as Lynn says, is that we have done articles on the implementation of FAIR, mostly focused really on the English language literature. And so we thought it would be really interesting to look at non-English literature. And so, as Lynn says, he was offering to focus on the Chinese and Japanese literature, but we could also include French, German, Dutch, Swahili, anything really, just to see if there is any appearance of articles in other languages. So that will be led by Lynn. And Lynn, you still need to send in an abstract on this also, correct?
Yes, may I ask like when the deadline is?
Well, it's really just as soon as possible, because we have formally closed the abstracts, but we will still go through these ones that we have now lined up here today, because I think it will be good for the special issue, really good to have them. So maybe, is it possible to do it latest by the end of the week?
Oh yes, for sure. Thank you very much, Professor, for letting me know. I would do my best to finish it as soon as possible.
Great. And so if there are any authors who would be interested to do a check on literature on fair implementation in a particular language that they master, then that will be good that those can be done in cooperation with the work that Yi Lin will do on Chinese and Japanese. So any French speakers, Swahili speakers, Dutch speakers, any other languages, get in contact with Lin. Lin, maybe you put your email address here in the WhatsApp, then, in the chat, then people can contact you more easily. Wondimu, I see you are there, Wondimu. That is very good. Can you also update on your articles, Wondimu? Wondimu, can you hear me?
Yes. Hello. Hi. How are you? Sorry, I missed last week and also almost this week. You know, I right now I'm out of Addis for mission, and that's why I couldn't, make it. So I don't have a recent update. Maybe I will try to come up with update next week. I hope the Dr. Arya and other team will join next week because now the telecommunication is working there. So I don't have really the final update this week.
So, Wondimu, thanks for joining, even for a short moment. The article that Dr. Reginald is doing, which relates to the conference that the seminar that we did, I think your input there is really important on the use of FAIR beyond COVID. And Dr. Araya was also going to work on that. He's the first author, but obviously at the moment we are not even in touch with him. So if you can come look at that and come back on that and come up with a plan together with Reginald, that would be very, very, very good.
Thank you. I will talk with Dr. Reginald about already I do have information about.
Yes.
So yeah, I will try to provide my input.
Yeah, and then the other article where you're really looking at the medical the analysis from the medical world in terms of what observational patient data adds to virology. I can definitely get you in touch with Professor Yazdan Baksh, who was also in the conference. But let us do that when you are back in Addis and it's easier for you to connect. And when you are a little bit clearer about ideas, and when that is ready, then I can get you in touch with her.
Thank you. Great. It's my pleasure.
All right. Excellent. Then I think we are good, and it's also 3 o'clock. Maybe then Francesca, just...
Professor Miriam, please, I have one question. I have been raising my hand.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. Sorry, Taki. Sorry.
Yes. It's on this section 4 on sustainable goals for fair data. Aliyah, can we go to the Google Docs for that article? The authors that I put there, I didn't see any of them, and I didn't know how to contact them. So I just put the abstract there. So I know you were talking about it, but I didn't know your decision, Professor Miriam, on the topic. Hello, ma.
Yeah, I can't see which article is this. Can you?
From number 22, from article number 22, right?
Is it number 22?
Yes, on sustainable development goals, fair, relevance of fair to the sustainable development goals. Is that the one?
Yes.
Okay. There are several articles. From number 22
No, just that number 22, article number 22.
Data science as a new field for employment.
Yes,
Did you not receive comments for this article?
I did, but all the other authors, I couldn't get in touch with them.
Yeah.
We have the BC is on that. Professor Kim Fei, Dr. Araya, you, and Dr. Wondimu.
But there is also Ronald de Jong would like to be on that article. So, Sakinat, let's discuss this outside this meeting.
Okay.
I understand the problem because both Kim and Araya, we cannot get in touch with them. So, but then there are others who want to be in this article. Also, I think Dr. Reginald. Dr. Reginald, is this not the article that you're working on with Ronald de Jong? Oh no, this is the relevance of fair to the Sustainable Development Goals.
Well,
article is number 22.
I was, I think, 16 and 20. Is it 25, 26? Okay, my name is not yet there, Professor, but
yeah. But we should make a difference between data science as a new field for employment. That is something where Kubrum actually could play a role because he is doing work on in NUFIC on the employment possibilities, including of these new areas. And then there is the article on the SDGs. But it looks like this has been mixed. So maybe we need to look at if they are not separate, different articles. I think I'll go through all those articles. And as soon as I have all the new abstracts, and then make sure that they are really clear and communicate to everybody. I think that's the best, Sakinat, if that's okay.
Yes, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay. Then I would want to ask Francesca to just update now that we are moving towards the new year and we are really starting in earnest on the FMO project as well, to update on that before we close the meeting.
Thank you, Professor Miriam. Yes, thank you, Professor. The update I have is actually on our FDPs, with the exception of that of the one in KIU, which is valid till 2021, yes, to the July of 2021. The other FDPs, the one for Tunisia, we got a full backing from the university, so it is hosted in the university and it doesn't expire. But the ones for Mekele University, Addis Ababa University, the Great Zimbabwe University, and of course the two in Nigeria, the Data Science Nigeria and the IBBUL. The virtual private server, we have been paying a monthly rental. And now that we're looking towards certification, Professor Miriam and I, and of course with the support of the board, decided that we should have a full investment in hardware, which involves uninterrupted internet service, and of course a on-premise server, which will also support our position on full ownership. We know the owners took the decision to host them on virtual private server, but we're all looking at a full hosting on site. And to support this, the university will have to commit to providing electricity and internet for every day. They don't go off. So we are looking at investing into this. So effective today, we are extending the FDP in those countries to March, and then working behind the scenes to make sure that we have a full investment on ground to host on-site premise server for Zimbabwe, for Ethiopia, and of course for Uganda, on the FMO, and then work on how we can also have a similar arrangement in Nigeria. For Tunisia, we don't have a problem with them because it's fully on the institution's infrastructure. But we're hoping that we can also get the ones for Nigeria to be fully on the institution's infrastructure, so we don't have to worry about rental payments or downtime on any of our servers. This will also go into the certification article to show that yes, they're fully owned, they're on premise, and they're on the institutional owners network backbone. So that is the update for me. So between now and March, when the subscriptions will expire, we hope that we're going to have full implementation in the institutions.
And then in addition to that, Federico Bronda was here, but I don't know if he's still here. He has been working on the contracts and everything, and then we really need to start looking at the implementation plan for especially for the expansion in Ethiopia and in Zimbabwe. So we're going to rely very much on Vondimu and on Kubrum and on Kudakwashi to come up with a plan for that. And I would propose that we set up a meeting for that, Francesca, for the new year. When in January we start, we have a meeting with Wondimo and Kubrum on the implementation objectives and plan in Ethiopia, and then also with Kudakwashi and team for Zimbabwe, if that is all right. Kudakwashi and Wondimo and Kubrum. So then I think with that we have come at the end of the announcements for this moment. And for next week, the session will be led by Dr. Francesca and Dr. Sakinat as the last session of the year. I will be in a defense of one of our GAIC PhDs. So for anyone that I may miss next week, I would like to say thank you. Thank you everyone for an absolutely amazing year. We have achieved so much. I really urge everybody to attend next week's session because I think it's really, really important that we get the special issue done and that we document all together what we have achieved here and show how much Africa is in the lead of this implementation of FAIR in general and also the implementation of FAIR in the context of VODAN and COVID. Very special thanks to Putu and Aliyah for bringing us together here every week and doing the preparations. Misha and Aliyah for the support on the special issue, and I hope that you'll be keeping it up and making sure that everything is streamed well in terms of all the communications. Also urging everybody to really respond to emails that are sent out by Misha and Aliyah. Very big thank you to Reginald and all coordinators, Wondimu, for the leadership every time and in country. Also those who are not here, like Dr. Mariam from Tunisia. And very, very big to Sakinat for taking a lot of leadership in the preparations of these seminars and for leading the special issues team very capably. And very, very, very special thanks for Dr. Francesca as our coordinator. And together with everybody else who's given so much support, Kuda in coordinating in Zimbabwe, and of course the our experts like Maria, who've helped everybody, Ibrahim, so many others, and Obina for always getting us the limelight and reporting so well on all of us, and Bet for just keeping us together with the Go Fair and all of the other actors, and making sure that we are connected. Thank you all very, very much. And I really look forward to a very good year next year, and where we will really, go from proof of concept to real implementation, which should be so very exciting. So with that, I'd like to hand over to you, Francesca, as the coordinator. Again, thank you for all that you've done for us. And I'll hand over to you, and then after that, Putu can close. Francesca.
Thank you, Professor Miriam, and thanks to everyone for all the excellent work. Yes, we will still meet next week to round up the year, and I'm going to coordinate with Christina to know the length of the presentation. We may be hosting a kind of a watch party, since the PhD will be hosted live, so we may have to organize a watch party for VODAN Africa, and then they will know that we're actually with them. On that note, I would like to, we have, I've already announced that in the WhatsApp, but now we have completed all our FDPs in all the partner countries with the installation of the Zimbabwe FDP at the Great Zimbabwe University. Very special thanks to Miriam. She was so patient, and to Kuda. He had a lot of network challenges, but we're all there for almost 2 hours in a guided session, and we have the FDP up and running now for Zimbabwe. So we have fulfilled our promise to our sponsors, and I'm really so proud of everyone, and thank you, especially to Professor Miriam as well for the leadership and for keeping us together, and for the Go Fair for continuing support. Even when we feel we have grown, they are still always there to make sure that we see them behind us. I'm going to hand over to Putu now to formally close the session. And of course, he's going to announce that we have all the materials in our various channels. For members who are just joining us, we kindly request that you register on the OSF so you don't miss any of the updates, because Putu is really very, very fast with that. He uploads everything to the OSF and to our website and to all our channels. We have all the webinar weekly materials always available. Thanks to everyone. Putu, please.
Thank you, Professor Francisca. I guess there is no question anymore. So thanks everyone for the participation. It is an honor to organize this meeting. As always, the video recording, just like Professor Francisca said, the video recording of the webinar and also the material will be available this week in every channel, such as website, Slack, OSF, and WhatsApp group. Thanks again for joining us, and we will see you next week on the last meeting of VODAN Africa and Asia. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.